Terpenes. Not sure if this will work this time, but I'm going to try. Fish and squash, the etymology. So, fish, squash, the end is the same, the SH. We'll disregard that for now. How do we tie together the F and the SQ? Disregarding now, for a moment, the vowel. The F is tied with the S as what is more or less an integral sign of the double S. The S and the Q are tied together because the Q and the K are tied together. The K is tied together with the C, and the C is tied together with the S. The squash is the SQ, which is the SC, which is the double S. And the fish is the F, and the F is the S associated with the double S. The split open fish. The fish. How else would Jesus have turned a few fish into 1,000 fish? Well, here's one fish. How many fish are these? Jesus spoke in parables. Jesus spoke in parables. A fish, an F. A squash, an SQ. An SQ is the SK. And the SK is the SC. And the SC is the SS. And the SS is the FS of even not so long ago as constitutional English. Parables. 2 S's. 2 S's is the SQ. 2 S's is the F of the FS. And that's part of the code. You get it or you don't. All those fish eggs, splitting open the trout, the goldfish that sees infrared and ultraviolet light. Which was created in Asia. If Asia took the time to create a little fish in release ponds of kindness, because the goldfish as we know it came about being released and bred in release ponds where they didn't have to worry about predators, so they were free. They were free to be what they were as they were without fear. Everything is free to be what it is as it is with or without fear. And without fear, this simple, gentle creature was able to develop or emit or express, not emerge, but express a capability that would not have been expressed otherwise, because it was let to be. So the question remains, not only must it remain, it just simply remains. With that type of foresight, that type of foreknowledge, whether deliberate or otherwise, whether logical or mythological, what else did these peoples produce? True. That a goldfish can see, arguably, a larger portion of the light spectrum, not what we call the light spectrum, but the light spectrum, that they can see maybe the largest portion of the light spectrum. A goldfish. A fucking goldfish. What does that say about that species? And what does that say about that species' creators? And what does that say about the thought form that informs that entire process? Fishies. Goldfish.
likes on Facebook and YouTube. What's with
I don't know why. Sometimes, you just gotta do it. My interest in doing that is, well, it developed many years ago, just like, well, I watched the movie Genghis Blues, and I was like, damn, people can do that? And so I never studied it, I've said it before, I drive an hour, usually about, I mean, it depends where I'm working, because we have a pretty wide radius around from where my boss lives, of where we work, but, I drive usually about an hour to and fro work, and, about 10 years ago, it was kind of like how people sing in the shower. Like, the only place I felt comfortable doing was in my car, because there's nobody around. Like, I got neighbors. There's 3 units in this building. It's pretty much a house, but there's 3 units in it, you know. Recently, I kind of stopped. I wouldn't say I stopped caring. I just don't do it that much inside. A little bit though. There's a difference between when you hear something like, and when you hear something all the fucking time. A lot of people have come in and out of this building, and one time there was this neighbor I had, and they were some of the nicest neighbors that I'd ever had. They were a young couple. They weren't married, but they had a couple kids, and they were just really pretty cool, nice people. Didn't talk to them much, but there was like a couple days where I kept hearing this thing. To me, it sounded like an old school Atari, like an Atari, like when in the old school Atari with Asteroid. It was that noise. Over and over again. I don't know if it was on a song. I don't know if it was like on a DVD, like menu, like repeat thing. I have no idea where it came from, or if it was on a video game. I have no idea where it came from. But and it wasn't even that loud, but it was like Chinese water torture, over and over again. So, I'd been imbibing, and I was trying out. I was turning up my TV really loud. I was like, I wouldn't say praying, but just like, please don't get mad, please don't get mad, please don't get mad, you know, and I got so mad. And I almost never do this, but I went over, I went out on my balcony and to his door over there on the balcony, wham, 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 at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and it was like, you know, I was very aggressive with my knock, but I could kind of see through the blinds, and he kind of slumped up, because he was on the couch, like right through the blinds, kind of slumped up and came to the door and was like, yeah, and I was like, could you please turn down? I can't remember what I said, your speaker, your audio, whatever I said. And I felt bad about it after. They moved out not long after. But I felt bad because they were nice people. His wife, girlfriend, baby mama, she came to my door like a couple weeks later because they'd blown a fuse, and I helped her find I helped her via my landlord on the phone with her in the basement find a fuse box in the basement. But anyway, she was nice and cool to me, so I felt a little bit better after that. And so much as I was like, alright, well, I guess they don't hate me so much they're not willing to speak to me. Anyway, I try not to too much in the house. Wasn't even what I wanted to say, but symbols dictate. It's over. Really hope you're having a good day. Really hope you're having a good day. Even though I know for myself, I've needed the bad days I've had, and I know bad days are coming, but man, if I didn't have those good days. You're worth it.